Welcome to Thrive and Serve, where we explore how thriving as our most authentic selves powerfully amplifies our impact. Today we're talking about AI and ChatGPT, and I want to share with you 3 ways that you can use ChatGPT as your ultimate entrepreneurial thinking partner. Take a deep breath with me. And let's begin. I've been giving a lot of talks lately around ChatGPT for entrepreneurs, how to embrace this groundbreaking tool inside of our business. And more often than not, I ask the question of who's actively using ChatGPT or has used it. And we're at that point now where most of us have at least played with it, right? We've played with it some. And this often is where the thing falls down, because as much as we may have played with it, often what I find is we've played with it for the wrong things. So we've played with it and said, hey, write me an email, create a landing page copy, write this text. And we've asked it to create content. And we're missing a huge part of the power that's at your fingertips with AI, with ChatGPT in particular that we're talking about today. But obviously this applies to all of this new breed of LLMs, of large language models that are becoming increasingly available to all of us. The interesting thing about ChatGPT and these other generative AIs is that they have been trained on a corpus of information, a body of knowledge of pretty much all of humanity, right? Of a staggering amount of data. And the difference here, the thing that makes them unique and powerful and linked into the use cases that I'm going to be talking about today, is the idea that this is generative AI. And in generative, that's the key word here. What that means is it's not just an encyclopedia. When I was a kid, the internet didn't exist, right? I am that old. And we would have a homework assignment, and I would be, after school, I would make my way to the local library, and I would go into the library and I would find the section on whatever the topic was that I had the homework on. And then I would look inside of the shelves looking for the book. If I was lucky, there was 1 book or 2 books. And then if I was exceptionally lucky, those books hadn't already been taken out of the library, right? So I would take those books down, put them on the shelf. Hey, we found a book. And then inside of that book, I would look for the knowledge around the topic that I had the homework piece on, right? And there maybe would be a paragraph or 2 paragraphs, and I had to write this essay around those 2 paragraphs. That was what life was like before the internet. Now we've got the internet. Things are different, aren't they? Because we can search in Google, we can search anything we want, and we can find answers to those questions. It becomes a repository. And this is where ChatGPT and the AI tools really are changing things, because they're now generative. And what that means is, quite simply, they take the repository and they don't just regurgitate the content that's in the repository. So like me reading that encyclopedia, looking at the knowledge around the topic, and just reading the knowledge around the topic. Generative AI doesn't do that. Generative AI takes the knowledge around the topic and it generates new, unique content and interpretations based upon what it's learned. So it's much more like how the human brain works in that sense. And this is why so many people have gotten so excited about AI, ChatGPT in particular, in these past months, because of its ability to generate brand new, unique ideas, thoughts, content. And so with that, the brain immediately races to, oh, I can have it write my emails, I can have it reply to messages, I can have it do this, I can have it do that. And you can do that, you absolutely can. You're kind of missing the point, right? You're kind of missing the point of the power, the true power of what AI brings to the table, especially for entrepreneurs. So we're going to look at three things, right? We're going to look at Socratic questioning. We're going to look at reducing uncertainty on your entrepreneurial journey. And we're also going to look at the concept of infinite idea expansion. And these are three areas that most entrepreneurs, in my experience, haven't played with ChatGPT or have barely scratched the surface. This is not about how to write a blog post with ChatGPT. This is how to grow your business, how to be a better leader, a better entrepreneur with AI. And we're talking about ChatGPT today, of course, right? Let's start with Socratic questioning. I look back on my entrepreneurial journey and I see moments, like punctuated moments of light bulbs, of ahas, of new ways of me thinking as an entrepreneur. And those new ways of thinking were rarely triggered from me. They were often triggered from the people around me, from discussions with experts, discussions with leaders, with other people pioneering away in the thing that I'm doing. And when we consider that we've had those milestones pitted along each of our journeys, right? We can each think back to a time when somebody said something and it made us go, oh yeah, I like it, and think different and then act different as a result. Well, right now you have the ability to compress that lifetime of experience and experience a lifetime of light bulb moments, quite literally, in minutes now with ChatGPT. So we can ask ChatGPT to act as the ultimate business mentor for us. So ask the difficult questions. Simply that. Ask me difficult questions and challenging questions around X. I'm looking to do this. Help me think through this process. Help me to reflect on the reason, the rationale, and to consider what will make this a true success. Just that. A considered, a sensible, an extremely well-informed business mentor able to ask those difficult questions. So now if you look what we've done with this concept of Socratic questioning and deep reflection, it's our reflection. That has zero to do with ChatGPT creating things for us. We're flipping it around. Can you see? So we're not saying ChatGPT, write me an email, create this copy, create this content. We're now saying ChatGPT, help me to think differently. Help me to think better. So by employing this way of utilizing AI, you now are improving. You now are becoming a better entrepreneur. We can also use ChatGPT to reduce risk and uncertainty. Let's face it, the one thing that we can be certain of is change, uncertainty, and all of the negative emotion that brings, especially on the entrepreneurial journey, because typically we're taking risks. We're going into places that are uncharted for us, and that brings with it fear, uncertainty, anxiety, which can then hinder your success in whatever it is that you're doing. So how might we use ChatGPT to reduce that uncertainty? Well, it's rather simple, right? So we have an ability to ask questions. Not just to ask questions, but remember to flip those questions around and have the AI ask us questions. Well, think about this. In a scenario that is unclear and foggy to us because we don't know what's ahead, we're able to clear away the fog. We're able to say, hey, I'm working on X and I'm concerned about this. I know nothing about that. And I'm unsure about what other variables might crop up in the process. Can we think this through together? Can you share some of those potential applications, potential variables, potential bumps in the road that I should think about when I'm planning out what I'm going to do here? So all of a sudden, we've got this beautiful brainstorming partner that can allow us to see things that we would never have seen before, or we would never have seen on our own. And this doesn't, again, another misnomer in the world of AI, right? AI isn't replacing human. AI is enhancing. AI is accelerating what we can do as humans, what we can do in the game of business. So allowing you to feel your way through that fog, to alleviate, to reduce uncertainty, to reduce anxiety, and allow you to take and put your best foot forward. Take those steps with more certainty, more surety, so that you can show up and serve people in a much more powerful, more impactful way. Use AI for that, to reduce risk, to reduce uncertainty. Another powerful way to use ChatGPT is for what I call infinite idea expansion. We all have a multitude of thoughts, ideas, creative expression, things that we want to play with and do and explore in our businesses. How often does that just go nowhere, right? So my invitation to you is to sit in front of ChatGPT and use ChatGPT as your infinite idea canvas. So let me give you an example, right? Hey, ChatGPT, I have an idea of creating a webinar to be a beacon out in the world, showing entrepreneurs how my community can help them to thrive in service of others. Create a list of all of the subtopics, all of the considerations that I may not have thought of yet around this. What are the pros and cons? What are the key considerations? What are the 5 things that I have to make sure I go through? And what are the getting started steps if I decide to do this? So all of a sudden you are creating this beautiful mind map, effectively, of all of the topics, the subtopics, the ideas, the fleshing out of everything that we need to consider around an idea. What that does is it takes the idea from the invisible, from just pinballing around inside of your brain, and it allows you to create structure. It allows you to create a comprehensive picture of what that idea would look like. Just think what you can do with that. You can then look at the idea holistically with that 10,000 foot view, and you're able to see and assess exactly how that might play out. And then work backwards, right? Look at the uncertainty avoidance concept or methodology and apply that. Okay, I'm going to go move forward with this. Now help me to think about variables that I may have otherwise missed. Help me to think through that. So all the time, in all of these examples, we are asking ChatGPT to help me think. Help me think. That's critical. That's the key difference in how we're approaching the AI, how we're looking at employing the AI to help us in our business. We're not looking for the AI to replace. We're looking for the AI to enhance, to accelerate. And so asking it to help me think, ask me questions, give me prompts that can allow me to feel my way into this idea. Help me share that wisdom in a way that helps me, that triggers those correct ways of thinking, and then propels me forward as a result. And of course, look, we can draw on this knowledge that the AI has by asking it, outline the best-in-class structure of a webinar. What is the best in the world that's always included in the most powerful, most potent webinars out there? So we can do that same information search, just like me with the encyclopedia in the library when I was a kid. We can still get that structure. And here's another little way that you can do it. So as well as asking ChatGPT to help you think, begin by asking ChatGPT to outline best in class, outline the best in the world way to do X. And then here's the beautiful thing. ChatGPT is magnificent at pattern recognition. So if we first ask it to outline the pattern, here is the structure of the best in class webinar, the best webinar structure in the world. Now I have an idea to create a webinar around X to bring people into my community. Help me now to map out what things I should include in my webinar, what things I should think about. And so all of a sudden, you are now taking the very best mechanical elements of what AI does, which is pattern recognition. You are drawing on its knowledge, its encyclopedic knowledge of the whole of humanity, and you are using it to trigger thoughts, ideas, ways of thinking, and ways of looking at issues that were never available to us before. It is a completely new way of working, a new way of thinking, and a new way to be successful in business. Thank you for joining me on Thrive and Serve. If you found this content helpful, then please like, comment, and subscribe. And most importantly, share this with someone who needs to hear it. When we shine as our most authentic selves, then our path is illuminated, as is the path of those around us. We truly thrive in the service of others. So go, let your unique light shine in the world in the way that only you can.